Welcome to Soccer Passing by Denise and Patrick Harman. Pat is a 20-year-old male who is at a novice level of skill. He has a soccer ball at home and enjoys kicking it with his brother, but has never played in a team socially or competitively. He wishes to improve his technique so he can be a force to be reckoned with in an upcoming social league. The program we have designed for our athlete will be a 4-week training program, consisting of 3 30-minute training sessions every week. Each of these sessions will have a 10-minute warm-up, 20-minute activity and 10-minute cool-down. The warm-up will be one jog at 50% intensity around the field, followed by dynamic stretches by the fence, and the cool-down will be one slow jog at 25% intensity around the field, followed by static stretching. Since our athlete wants to improve his technique and accuracy with his pass, we've decided that each week we will focus on different components of the soccer pass, so that come week 4, he's able to combine these together. For week 1, the main focus will be stance, so the instep of the athlete. Week 2 will be all about leg swing, making contact with the ball and following through with the same leg. So this will be the full pass. Week 3, we will increase the speed and complexity of the task, so this will be pass to pass. This task will test our athlete's ability to position his body to receive the ball first time as opposed to taking 1 or 2 touches first. Finally, week 4 will involve a drill that combines running, dodging and passing. So this is most like a game scenario. According to Gentile's 2-dimensional taxonomy, our pre-test, post-test and retention test task, that being passing a soccer ball through the cones, would fall under the category 1B. This is due to the fact that it is a stationary regulatory condition with no intra-trial variability. There is body stability, however there is object manipulation. Here we have our athlete attempting the pre-test. He is required to pass the ball 10 times, aiming for the ball to go through the cones. He must kick each ball from the same position. Welcome to week 1. For week 1, the coach is seen describing to the athlete the task at hand. For week 1, the focus is all about the stance prior to completing a pass. For the stance to be correct, the coach tells the athlete that she wants his foot to be side on parallel to the ball. This foot should be the non-dominant foot, as the athlete will learn to kick with their preferred foot in the coming weeks. The coach models the desired action that she wishes the athlete to perform through physical demonstrations as well as verbal explanations of the task. Since this is the first week of the 4-week training program, the athlete and coach form a relationship where they are able to question each other without any embarrassment. The coach encourages her athlete to think of some cue words that will help him stay motivated and that aren't too specific to the task but also not too vague that he becomes disinterested. The coach constantly uses verbal feedback as well as positive reinforcement and also aims to demonstrate the task at the same time as the athlete. In week 1, there are progressions. So first, it was all about standing next to the ball and lifting the back foot, moving from a heel to toe movement. The next progression is a 1-step lead up. So standing 1 step away from the ball, taking 1 step forward, and then lifting the foot, bringing it to the ball, however not kicking the ball at this stage. When the athlete feels comfortable and the coach feels that the athlete is competent at that step, they progress even further to the 2-step lead up. A 2-step lead up is the most commonly found lead up prior to completing a pass, even if it is a pass that is on the run. So the coach really wants to make sure that the athlete has this down pat prior to moving on. The idea of moving progressively from different activities, from the standing stance to 1-step to 2-step, is called progressive part sequence. This falls under segmentation, and segmentation is a part practice technique. The coach feels that this is the best way for their athlete to learn how to pass the ball, as they can use building blocks to build upon their knowledge, as well as scaffolding the task so that the client doesn't get too bored. Welcome to week 2. Week 2 is all about the athlete using their leg swing, making contact with the ball and following through, finishing with the leg forward to form a completed pass. Once again, the coach demonstrates this skill first, thus modelling the desired action that they wish to see their athlete replicate before the athlete gives it a turn. Due to the repetitive nature of this week's sessions, the coach thinks it's a great opportunity to let their athlete use some self-feedback. The great idea about self-feedback is that it enhances the athlete's learning, as well as indicating immediately to the coach how the athlete feels about the task. This could also identify possible issues with their self-efficacy, confidence, and overall motivation levels. As well as utilising self-feedback, the coach also takes this time to provide verbal feedback through the sandwich method. In this freeze frame, you can see that our client, after kicking the ball, his instep foot has moved outwards.
What the coach aimed to achieve in this session was to incorporate the part practice sequences demonstrated in the previous 2 weeks into a whole practice drill while still aiming to add greater challenge to the task. So as you can see, what the coach is doing here is kicking the ball to the athlete and allowing the athlete time to measure up and time their sequences appropriately. While passing remains the focal point of the program, the drills performed this week encourage manipulation of the ball through controlled dribbling between cones. The main area of observation in this drill is the ability of the athlete to complete a moving pass. To assess the long-term effectiveness of the program, the athlete was asked to participate in a retention test.
3 weeks later.
The test itself was identical to that of both the pre- and post-program test, in which the athlete had attempted to complete 10 consecutive passes between a pair of cones. From the data, we can conclude that the athlete was not only able to improve drastically between the pre- and post-tests, but that these improvements were evident after the program had taken place. While a perfect score was not achieved during the retention test, the participant had a 90% success rate, only a 10% drop-off from their post-program results.